What's up, everybody? Today is part two of the two-part series, Peer Groups. In part one, we focused on the group and how it influences your life. This part, session two, is about you and how you influence your life in relation to those groups. I think a great way to really inspect this is if you use the analogy of a nickname. If you've ever had a nickname, you will realize if you sit down and think about it for a minute that takes on a very specific persona. Whenever people are calling you a specific nickname, you show up a very specific and particular way. I'll give you some of my own personal examples. My mom, ever since I was young, calls me Bubba. Let me tell you, my friends, when I go to basketball on Thursday nights, or whenever we go out for drinks on the weekend, or, I'm at work, nobody calls me Bubba. When my mom calls me Bubba, I show up in a very specific and particular way. It's like that only button-up shirts, hair combed over, my politician cut, and I'm a little bit more respectable, even though I'm still kind of a jerk. Not quite as bad because it is my mother, and I respect her and my family, and I appreciate you, Mom, I love you. Bubba brings on a very specific personality for me. Other nicknames I've had across my life is Brando. This comes back from my bartending and serving days. It's Brando because every time you ring in a ticket in a restaurant, it leaves off that last N. So Brando is a very high energy, very sarcastic, very sales oriented individual. I come in, I sling drinks, I give people a hard time, I upsell specials, I make money, and I get out. That's Brando's persona. Another one of my peer groups from college calls me Shake. And this is a funny one because it comes from the summer when, I don't know if you remember, Talladega Nights hit the blockbuster because it was one of the greatest movies of all time. And shake and bake is a big saying in there. And that summer, I happened to be on a paint crew painting houses. And a big part of that is shaking paint. So shake and paint became a mantra and also became a nickname. So Shake stuck with me. And let me tell you, Shake is very aggressive. Shake stays out until 4 a.m. drinking, partying, gets up at 6 a.m. to go to work. Shake is the person that says things that are probably a little bit abrasive and aggressive, but everybody's thinking. Shake is the person that'll go out of his way to make people uncomfortable, force issues, and things like that. It's very interesting that when you're around different peer groups, you show up in these different personas. And something that I want you to really look at today, and I'm going to give you a couple tools at the bottom, fill out the link and I'll email it to you, is I want you to really inspect who you are in your peer groups and the people around you. Not just your peer groups, but your family and your work. And if you don't have a nickname, give yourself a nickname. Give yourself something that fits the situation. So if you're real timid and quiet at work, call yourself Mouse and write out what that persona looks like and how you show up. If you're a little bit aggressive and abrasive, maybe it's Cactus. I don't know. Give yourself that nickname. I don't think they just have to be animals and things. You can have other nicknames too. Call yourself Thor. I don't care. Whatever you need to call yourself. Give yourself a superhero nickname. So for instance, I might call myself Red for no particular reason. Nobody calls me Red, believe it or not, but if that's a persona that I show up as at work, I really want to notice that and take note of what results that gets me. Another great thing to do, another activity that I want to challenge you with this week is to actually create a persona that you want to embody. Write out the characteristics of somebody that you would absolutely admire. And if you were that person, what would your nickname be? This is such a fun activity to really lay out. If I were to show up as, let's use Thor for instance, because Thor is a monster of a superhero. And I'm not even a superhero nerd, but I'm going to call myself Thor. Thor shows up, he's serving the community, he's very outgoing, very articulate, also very strong and handles his shit. He shows up and takes actionable steps towards his business. So if I'm going to be Thor, those are the things that I'm going to do. And I'm going to really deep down check myself and bring Thor out when I need to. I'm not saying that your other personas need to go away, but I think what this activity does, and what I'll include in the worksheet for you is, when does it benefit you to pull out these different personas, and when does it actually hinder you? Sometimes it is perfectly okay and actually beneficial for me to bring out Shake and be aggressive and very forthright and very pushy. And other times it's very appropriate and very fitting for me to be Bubba and just calm and quiet and respectable and sit in my place and just observe. It's a wonderful tool to realize how you're showing up in different circumstances and being able to tap into those different personas when you need to. So, click the link below, fill out the information. I'll email you the worksheet and some of the activities, the tools, all that stuff. If any of this resonates with you, please share it with your friends, social media, email. If you haven't already, check out part 1 of this. And if any of that sits well with you also, please share it, send it out. I'm on a mission that between this 2-part series, I want it to reach 1,000 people. Okay? So the more people you can send it to, forward it to, like it, Facebook it, LinkedIn it, whatever. As always, if there's any information or anything you want to share with me, please do so. I love hearing your stories. Share your nicknames with me. That would be awesome, and give me some of the personas of who they are. And then let's run a competition, actually. If you share your nicknames with me and the persona that you want to take on, so the one nickname that you want to create, I will give you 2 hours of free coaching, one-on-one professional coaching for the winner. And I'll select a winner through a video blog here in the next couple weeks. So I want you to pass this along. If you know somebody who needs coaching, give this to them and they can enter to win. Submit it to us and I'll take a look. All right, until next time, good luck and we'll talk to you soon.